Our connection with you runs deep, and just like you treasure your New Year resolutions, we highly value your sports needs. We are off to Germany for the DFB Pokal 2021-2022 round of 16. The match to look forward to is FC St. Pauli versus Borussia Dortmund, slated for Tuesday 18th of January 2022 at 10:45 p.m. FC St. Pauli have reached the round of 16 for the first time in 16 years, whereas Borussia Dortmund won the DFB Pokal for the 5th time last season. Catch this tie live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC, your true sports partner.
Kupata skiza tune ya maisha, bonyeza star 811 star 965 hash. Maisha ni mafupi, hivyo si vyema kumaliza muda mwingi katika malumbano. Hesabu baraka zako, wathamini rafiki zako na tabasamu ili udumishe amani. Bonyeza star 811 star 965 hash. Star 811 star 965 hash.
Ningekupa kipaumbele kama mke wangu. Mata simwelewi. Unaogopata kumpa salamu. Manake taeleweke na vituko kama ni ule mzee. Mimi namjua mke wako kweli?
Furaha hakuna. Ndio mwanzo mambo yamezidi kuvurugika.
Tipili anayuko sawa.
Can you stop doing that?
Beacon Furnitures Limited. We're local manufacturers of quality office furniture, dealers in quality office equipment like fireproof safes and cabinets. Our automated state-of-the-art factories at Henna House along Enterprise Road in Nairobi's industrial area. Our showroom is at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. We are passionate believers in locally manufactured goods. When you and I buy locally made furniture, we impact on the livelihoods of our brothers and sisters. For orders, visit our showroom at Uniafric House, Koinange Lane off Koinange Street. Beacon Furnitures Limited. Jenga Kenya, tupate ajira.
The day is 18th of January 2022. Good afternoon and welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. So on the day that the BBI case went to the Apex Court, that is the Supreme Court, of course we have lots of other news we are keeping tabs with. My name is Njue and Lucy Mwaura will be our sign language interpreter for this live newscast. Remember, you can be part of this conversation. Your comments, suggestion, or even where you are watching us from, we highly welcome them. And to begin our news, we begin from the Apex Court, that is the Supreme Court, where our reporter, Sarafina Robi, has been keeping tabs with the BBI appeal case at the Supreme Court. Sarafina Robi, kindly bring us up to speed with what is happening there.
Indeed, a very good afternoon, Ben Njue. We are coming to you live from the Supreme Court of Kenya, whereby, as you've stated, we have been following up on the hearing in regards to the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2021, which is popularly referred to as the Building Bridges Initiative, whereby today we have the hearing has kicked off with the appellants, who are the Attorney General and the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, have already highlighted their submissions. But earlier on, Ben, we were able to see a ruling that was delivered by the 7-judge bench in regards to tying time that has been sought in regards to highlighting the submissions, whereby they had sought for more time, and the Supreme Court was able to allocate them 15 more minutes. All parties were allocated 15 more minutes, which they seem to be okay with. And also all those that had said that they were willing to give their time to other parties were also allowed to do so. And thereafter also the amici, who are the amicus curiae, who are the friends of the court, had sought to be given time to highlight their submissions, but this was not allowed. Also, Ben Troy, some of the issues that were also given in that ruling were in regards to one of the respondents, who is Felista Wekesho, a member of the Third Way Alliance, was told that she will not be able to highlight her submissions within 45 minutes, but rather her time was combined with the Third Way Alliance, whereby they will be able to highlight their submissions within 1 hour. Now, going into the highlighted submissions that were made, the first petitioner or the first appellant was the Attorney General Githu Muigai, who was represented by lead counsel, who is the Solicitor General Kennedy Ogaito. And one of the first issues that they based on was on the basic structure doctrine, whereby they were against the fact that the Court of Appeal and the High Court say that it can be applicable in the country, saying that this did not come out clearly. Now they're now seeking the Supreme Court to clarify further on matters to do with the basic structure doctrine, whereby they still oppose that it's not applicable in the country, saying that even if it was to be applicable in the country, then there will be legal and constitutional difficulty. Another issue that they were able to highlight involved whether the president can initiate a popular initiative in the country, saying that the provisions allow for every person to be able to initiate or to participate in a political process, and it does not discriminate on a private citizen, hereby regarding the president, saying that this does not discriminate the president, saying that the popular initiative route was meant also to curb the monopoly of parliament on matters constitutional amendment. Also, the other issue that was able to be highlighted on was on the issue of presidential immunity, whereby the Court of Appeal had earlier on said that proceedings can be instituted against a sitting president or someone is holding the office of the president on anything done or not done contrary to the Constitution, whereby they say then this is against the provisions on presidential immunity, since the president will be exposed to the legal process. The other issue they now say that they argue that this defeats the whole essence of immunity, as the president will have to participate in the process to prove his innocence, exposing him to legal process. The second appellant that we were able to see, who was able to highlight their submissions, was the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, whereby they were led by Senior Counsel Githu Muigai, Professor Githu Muigai, and some of the issues that they were talking about in regards to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission were in regards to the mandate of the IEBC and the quorum, saying that the decision that was made earlier on was premised on a law that was premised on a repealed law, and that there is no specific law on quorum, now calling upon the Supreme Court to make a ruling, or rather a judgment, that it was correct and legally capable of undertaking its constitutional and statutory mandate. These are just some of the decisions that have been able, some of the issues that have been able to be highlighted by the first two appellants in the hearing that is ongoing right now at the Supreme Court, whereby it's the Attorney General and the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, and thereafter we expect to see the third appellant, who is Morara Omoki, and some of the issues that maybe we expect that he will be highlighting on are issues to do with the multiple choice referendum questions, whereby we expect to see what he will be talking about and what he seeks from this issue that had earlier on been ruled upon, or a judgment had been delivered by the Court of Appeal and also the High Court. We continue to bring you these proceedings. Right now the court has been adjourned up to 2 p.m. Back to you, Ben Troy.
Thank you so much, Sarafina Robi, for that comprehensive report. And indeed, we will continue following it up from 2 p.m. Remember, IEBC and AG have made their submissions. In other news, of course, businessman Jimmy Wanjigi, who is also a presidential candidate, has had some woes when it comes to the DCI, and as we speak, what has it that he is bolted up in his office as DCI officers seek to have a word with him in regard to an alleged land grabbing case involving 2 other businessmen. We are keeping an eye, and our reporter Aidan is on that trail. But in other news, my director informs me that we already have Aidan on the line. Aidan, kindly bring us up to speed with what is happening in Westlands.
The House of hopefully presidential aspirant ODM Jimmy Wanjigi at Westland. Jimmy has been in hostage since last night at this office since last night. We didn't know what was the problem about why he is in hostage. He was supposed to dress several delegates from all 47 counties. Those delegates, they have been dispersed by the police officers when he immediately came to at this office. Jimmy went hours ago, but he left to the court to get the order how we can be able to free Jimmy Wanjigi from this hostage. Since last night, Jimmy Wanjigi was here with his members of staff who are at this office. Now we had an opportunity to talk to his PA to tell us what was the last communication that he get from the Jimmy Wanjigi. Please, can you tell us what was the communication?
Good afternoon. My name is David Mwangi. The last communication we had with Wanjigi is yesterday in the morning. When he was telling me he's not feeling safe, he was telling me that he's expecting delegates who are youths from all 47 counties. But apparently he didn't see them because all of them were dispersed by the policemen and there was no peace here. Yes.
So where is he now? What was the last communication? Why is he in hostage?
Jimmy Wanjigi is in hostage because also it's political. Personally, he does not even understand why he's in hostage because he has not done any crime to anyone. Number 2, all his political enemies are fighting him. But why are they fighting him? Because Jimmy Wanjigi is talking the truth and is speaking for the Kenyan youth, the Kenyan maskini, and the Kenyan hustler.
What was your last communication?
The last communication, he told me he's not feeling safe and he's not okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Now we are at Jimmy Wanjigi's office. But we didn't get up to now what was the issue about why he's been hostage at this place. But we are going to give more details at 7 and 9. Thank you very much. Njue, go back to the studio.
Aidan, and of course, Aidan will be there to ensure that we don't miss anything in regards to businessman and presidential candidate Jimmy Wanjigi fiasco, as he is, as we speak, is locked up in his offices in Westlands. Moving on, rescue operations to retrieve the bodies of 2 students from Michuki Technical Training Institute who drowned in River Mathioya on Sunday are underway. According to fellow students, the 2 were on a visit to the river when the tragedy occurred.
The Michuki Technical College fraternity is yet to come to terms following the drowning of 2 students from the college who were allegedly washed away by raging waters of Mathioya River on Sunday.
Walikuja tu venye watu wanatoka wanaenda picnic, wakuja kupiga picha. Our girl akienda kuagua kwa mto, then the other brother akamsaidia kumshika mkono. Wala kumshika juu ya force of the water ikakuwa mingi, kampigisha kambeba na mto.
According to eyewitnesses, the victims were among a group of students who had visited the area on a learning tour.
They were 8 students when they came. When the first 5 guys wakavuka kwanza, alafu wakakumbuka kuna wasichana nyuma, wakavukisha wasichana wa kwanza wawili. Alafu the victim, who is Helen, was the last girl, although there was another guy behind her. So Helen akakwama pale juu ya uoga na nguo alikuwa amevaa haikuwa ina stretch mguu. So she had to jump so that angekanyanga ile mawe. So after jumping, she slid and she fell inside.
Efforts to trace and retrieve their bodies are ongoing, with locals calling for the construction of footbridge to avert such incidents.
Hii area ikafensiwa na juu tunaambiwa wanakijiji wa ile pande huwa wanavuka hivi, hapa pawekwe daraja isikwe, it is very risky aba watu wanavukia kwa mawe.
The institute's principal, John Ndiragu, urged the relevant authorities to place warning notices on dangerous areas along the river.
And we are appealing to all our witches, including the divers, to assist us retrieve the two bodies.
Jacqueline Masharia for Lunchtime News.
And from River Mathioya to River Yala, where residents of Yala Township, Gem in Siaya County have raised concern over the alleged dumping of bodies in Yala River. According to the local community, most of the bodies are found dumped around the Ndanu Falls, which they claim has become a common occurrence in the area.
According to Okero, a local resident who in many occasions witnessed and retrieved the bodies from the river, the rate at which the dumping is done is alarming.
Kazi yangu ni kutoa tu mwili yenye aina wenyewe. Inaletwa na gari na inamwagwa kwa ile kabriji ya kwenda Busia Kisumu. Zingine zinabakia hapo, zingine zinateremka mpaka falls, zingine zinaingia intake hapa. Hata serikali ya Yala wamejua hii mambo yote. Vile ikitupwa lazima wapate hiyo ripoti, wananiita, mimi ndio natoa. Sasa hapa tumetoa mwili karibu 31. Ile aina wenyewe.
The community alleges the bodies are brought in a black double cabin together with a small probox model that has been spotted occasionally in the area.
So many institutions, and my worry is how safe are these bodies. They could be contaminated bodies, and in the long run we might be having problems of health. I'm very concerned that the community in which these bodies are being found, time immemorial, have been very, very respectful to the dead bodies. But it's my appeal to the whole nation that they may come to our rescue. Our children are learning bad scenes, which eventually might make them immune to the respect of the human life, of the sanctity of human life.
Human rights activists have challenged the government to step in and ensure members of the public are safe.
How come these vehicles that are dumping bodies have never been caught? The individuals who are doing this, how come they remain unknown? And at the same time, we understand that this same river where bodies are found, it is the same river that supplies water to communities, to families in this region. Do people know that the water they are using is actually used as dumping sites for dead bodies? So where is the government? Where are the police? Where is the DCI? When all this is happening and it is known to the authorities, but no action is being taken.
What we saw on this river are bodies that haven't been removed. The police are paid to do such work. And it's been done by a citizen. This man, where are the police? Why are they being paid if this is the man who's doing their job? So tunaomba serikali iwajibike, ifanye kazi yao, na wale ambao wako pale ni watu ambao wanajulikana, kwa sababu kila mtu ambaye ako kwa nchi hii ako na fingerprints. So register of persons, kuja chukua fingerprints, enda kwa database, angalia ni akina nani.
Game Sub-County Police Commander Charles Chacha confirmed that several unknown bodies have been recovered from River Yala in the past few months. For Lunchtime News, I'm Ruth Wamboi.
Moving on, West Pokot County government has rolled out a free livestock vaccination exercise against the Petites de Peste ruminants (PPR) disease in Pokot North Sub-County. The exercise, aided by the United States Agency for International Development (USAID), targets over 1 million goats and sheep, seek to totally eradicate the disease that has in the past wiped out livestock in the region.
The exercise launched at Kopulio comes after an assessment which revealed that Petites des Peste ruminants is still on the rise in the region. West Pokot Governor John Lonyangapuo said cattle rustling contributes immensely to the spread of the disease in the region.
Wanyama wetu ndio choice yetu. Tuchunge na tuwe tabia mbaya hii ya wizi ya ng'ombe. So tumekuwa na programs ambayo tumerun.
The vaccination is also aimed at enhancing the quality of meat and milk.
Let's see how to improve on livestock. Mbuzi yetu na ng'ombe wanauzwa kwa top layer hotels. Wakenya wanakula prime choice meat kutoka Asal counties. Na West Pokot tumekuwa na target ya kuhakikisha nyama yetu ya kutoka West Pokot iwe ni nyama ambayo ina watu wanang'ang'ana nayo na wanalipa kwa bei ya nzuri.
West Pokot Livestock and Pastoral Economy CEC Geoffrey Lipale said that the county has in the last 6 days vaccinated over 80,000 goats in Pokatusa, Nakuyen and Atulia, among others in Kachelimba, Pokot North. Reporting for Lunchtime News, I'm Wamboi Otende.
Elsewhere, Narok Water and Sewerage Company Director Stanley Kuyoni has put on notice those vandalizing water infrastructure in the region. Kuyoni says the vandalism has led to an acute shortage of the scarce resource in areas such as Majengo.
Residents of Narok Majengo Estate say they have been forced to dig deeper into their pockets to afford water. Others have been forced to queue for long hours just to get water from the nearby kiosk.
Tumeteseka sana. Tunatumia hii maji yenye natumia kufulia wakati wa saa hii. Hii maji ndio tunafua nayo. Watoto wanatumia hata kuoga na hata kutumia kazi ya nyumba.
Kama saa hii unapata huko mahali tunakaa kuna mifereji lakini hakuna maji. Wanatuletea hizo standing charges, bills, tunalipa na hatuoni maji. Actually, I can't remember the last time niliona maji huko kwa plot.
The locals are now calling on Narok County government to save them from the misery.
County ya Narok na serikali ya Narok, tafadhali fanyeni juu chini msaidie watu. Ni kwa sababu watu wana shida sana ya maji. Wamama ambao wako na watoto shule, hata watoto wengi unasikia wamama wakisema hata pesa hata maji ya kupikia watoto, hata watoto kuoga wakienda shule hakuna maji. Hiyo ndio shida tunayo sana hapa kwetu Narok.
But even as they ask for help, Narok Water and Sewerage Company says the obtaining situation has been occasioned by vandalism of water systems.
Na tumeona uharibifu kubwa sana ya bomba za maji na pia ya maji taka, ya maji safi na maji taka. Kwamba tutashika au wakora ama majangili hao tutaweza kuwashika.
Narok Water and Sewerage Company Director Stanley Kuyoni cautioned water vendors against hiking prices, even as he challenged locals to help protect water infrastructure.
Wale ambao wanauza zaidi ya shilingi 2 tutawashika na hawataweza kuoperate viosk kama hiyo. Tunawahimiza wao wauze maji kwa ile rate ya Nawasco. Rate ya Nawasco ni shilingi 2 kwa kila jerrycan ya lita 20.
A 20-litre jerrycan of water currently trades at 20 shillings, an amount most residents say they cannot afford.
From Narok to Isiolo County, where religious leaders in the county have called for political tolerance among politicians and the general public as the country enters the electioneering period. The clergy under the Isiolo Interfaith Network were, however, keen on family setup, urging Kenyans to desist from engaging in controversial politics at household level to avoid cases of gender-based violence.
The clergy in Isiolo County have expressed fear of a possible increase in gender-based violence cases in the country amid the rising political temperatures. Chair of Isiolo Interfaith Network, Sheikh Ahmed, warned that politicking among family members who hold varied views may cause tension.
Wakati huu wa siasa, tunaomba katika nyumba zetu watu wajiepushe na siasa katika nyumba, maana ndani ya nyumba kuna watoto ambao wanatakanwa kuiga mfano ya wazazi yao.
He says families are safer steering clear of politics in their houses.
Na tunaomba wananchi, pindi mtakapokuwa na jambo lolote la kutatanisha kati ya bibi na bwana, au kati ya jamii, au kati ya vikundi, hata kati ya wanasiasa, tafuteni viongozi wa dini, tuko tayari.
Calls for sobriety among politicians during the ongoing campaigns were also part of the messages that clerics pushed for.
Fanya siasa, uza sera, lakini tuhakikishe kwamba tunashikanisha jamii, tulete vijana pamoja, sababu tunaona katika mtandao wa kijamii vijana wameweza kuonekana kwamba wanatoa sentiments ambazo zimeleta mgawanyiko.
Tunakataa uchochezi aina yoyote. Sisi mahali popote tuko tunapenda usalama, tuhubiri amani, na mtu yoyote ambayo inaleta shida kwa nchi yetu, kwa kaunti yetu, lazima tukatae.
Tuhimiza watu wetu wajisajili kama wapiga kura, kwa maana kura pia ndio itawapatia nguvu ya kuchagua viongozi wale ambao wanawataka.
The clergy have resolved to use their respective podiums in their places of worship to preach peace.
And to more politics now, Deputy President Dr. William Ruto continues his campaigns. At the moment, he is in Kibera, right here in the capital, Nairobi. Let's first of all listen to what he has to say.
Pale Mbagathi, mahali tumeweka equipment ya hospitalini, tumeweka equipment ingine hapa Kenyatta, tumeweka equipment ingine pale spinal injury, tumeweka equipment ingine Mamalusi kule Embakasi. Mimi nataka niwaambie, tutazidi na kuhakikisha ya kwamba hospitali zinapatikana hapa Kibra, ndio kila mmoja wetu akiwa mgonjwa anaweza kupata mahali ya kupata madawa, ndio tuweze kushughulikia watu wa Kibra vile tunashughulikia wa Nairobi wengine. Tunaelewana? Vile vile tumekubaliana ya kwamba mbali na barabara ni kuunganisha stima. Hapa Kibra, sehemu kubwa ya Kibra ilikuwa giza. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Mbali na stima tumeunganisha kwa manyumba ya wananchi. Pia tumeweka street lighting ambayo inasaidia kwa mambo ya usalama na mambo ya biashara katika mtaa wetu wa hapa Kibra. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Vile vile mimi niliwaeleza wakati ule ya kwamba tutajenga bomba kubwa la maji, mfereji mkubwa wa maji ambayo inatoka pale Kabete, itapitia hapa katikati ya Kibra, iende Lang'ata, ndio tuondoe tatizo la maji hapa Kibra, kwa sababu tatizo la maji bado ni tatizo sugu katika Kibra hii. Hiyo mfereji, hata na nyinyi watu wa Kibra ni mashahidi ya kwamba inaendelea kujengwa. Tayari tumemaliza mambo ya Northern Collector Tunnel, mahali tutatoa maji. Tumetoa vile vile maji kutoka Karemenu ambayo karibu tunakamilisha, na damu ya Ruiru 2 ambayo itatusaidia kuleta maji ili mji wetu wa Nairobi isikose maji tena, na tuhakikisha ya kwamba sewage system vile vile inatengenezwa, ndio tuweze kuwa na city ya Nairobi ambayo iko na status ya city ya Kenya. Watu wa Kibra tunaelewana? Tuko pamoja? Mbali na mambo hayo ni mambo ya elimu ya watoto wetu. Vile tunajenga shule za teknolojia sehemu zingine za Kenya, hata na hapa Kibera hii ama hapa kwenu pia tunapanga mambo ya masomo ya watoto wetu, na hapa Nairobi tunajenga shule za teknolojia, technical training colleges zingine 4 ya kusaidia watoto wa hapa, vijana wa Nairobi waweze kupata mahali ya kupata ujuzi na kusomea ufundi na kusomea teknolojia, ndio tuhakikishe ya kwamba Kenya inaambatana na Nairobi katika mambo ya transformation. Watu wa Kibra tunaelewana? Kibra tunaelewana? Ndio mimi nimekuja hapa leo. Mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa Kibra, hiyo mambo yote tumefanya, lakini si mnajua awamu ya hiyo serikali inaenda kuisha sasa? Nyinyi watu wa Kibra mnajua tuko na nafasi ya uchaguzi mwingine tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Kibra, mumejipanga ama mnangojea kupangwa? Ati Kibra mnafanyaje? Ati amupangwingwi? Unajua kuna majamaa wanaketi chini kwa mahoteli na maofisi ati watatupangia nani atakuwa kiongozi wa Kenya. Mimi nataka niwaulize, tutachagua kibaraka mwenye amechaguliwa na watu wengine kwa hoteli? Kwani sisi hatuna akili ya kuchagua mtu ambaye tunajua anaweza kupanga mambo ya Kenya? Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Kibra, mtakubali ati tupangiwe kibaraka ya watu wa hoteli? Mnawaambia aje? Ati Kibra mnawaambia aje? Ati Nairobi mnawaambia aje? Ati Nairobi mnawaambia aje? Mnasema atupangwingwi. Jameni, ndio mjue kuna.
That's DP William Ruto there in Kibera live. They are talking about better health care by ensuring there are more health facilities in Kibera. He has talked about scaling up connection of power in Kibera and street lighting to better security and businesses there. Water from Kabete to Kibra to Langata to alleviate water shortage in Kibera. And education, is talking about more schools and technical institutions to boost education. And on that note, we are due for our first break, but don't go away, we still have more news, not forgetting business and also sports.
Tusirudi nyuma kwa mipaka na nchi kufungwa. Tusirudi kwa biashara na shule kufungwa. Kwa kutoweza kukutana. Kwa kutengana na tuwapendao. Tusirudi nyuma.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Ili tuendelee na maisha vizuri.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge,
pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge,
pata chanjo.
Na kuhitaji unikinge, pata chanjo.
Ili tuendeleze maisha bora kwa ajili ya wapendao, nchi yetu na usoni wetu. Kwa ajili yetu sisi sote, pata chanjo. Kaa chonjo. Kuhakikisha nchi yetu na uchumi wetu umestawi katika uwazi. Tusirudi nyuma.
Our connection with you runs deep, and just like you treasure your New Year resolutions, we highly value your sports needs. We are off to Germany for the DFB Pokal 2021-2022 round of 16. The match to look forward to is FC St. Pauli versus Borussia Dortmund, slated for Tuesday 18th of January 2022 at 10:45 p.m. FC St. Pauli have reached the round of 16 for the first time in 16 years, whereas Borussia Dortmund won the DFB Pokal for the 5th time last season. Catch this tie live and exclusive on KBC Channel 1. KBC, your true sports partner.
Do you have a news story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Welcome back and many thanks for keeping it KBC Lunchtime News. Let's now focus on the second phase of the IEBC mass voter registration exercise that commenced yesterday. A section of leaders from Samburu County claimed the 21-day period for the enhanced voter registration by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC will not be enough to register all voters in the vast county. The leaders, led by Samburu Women Representative Maison Leshomo say poor means of transport in the county might work against the Commission's aim to achieve the 22,000 new voters targeted in the county.
A day after the Wafula Chebukati-led commission embarked on the second and final phase of enhanced voter registration across the country, a section of leaders from Samburu want IEBC to put in place extra measures to ensure more Samburu residents are registered as voters ahead of the August general elections.
Kwa sababu makarani wanaenda polling station leo, wanakaa siku moja ama mbili, wanaondoka kwa hiyo polling station, wanaenda another polling station. Sasa ile ya hii polling station walianza, wakikuja hapo wanakuta wameondoka na hawawezi kwenda kufuata kwenda tena kwa another polling station kupiga kura, kusajiliwa.
Led by Samburu woman representative Maison Lesomo, the leaders claim due to poor means of transport, the 21 day of enhanced voter registration will not be enough to register all voters in the county.
Habi siku tumepewa ni siku chache 20. Mimi ningesema kama leader ya Samburu, hiyo kama ingewezekana wangeongezea watu hiyo muda. Kwa Samburu kuna watu wanabeba makipande na wako mbali, wakifuata ng'ombe zao na wako na makipande na hawajawahi kusajiliwa hata siku moja.
The call coming as Samburu County IEBC manager Ben Misati urged stakeholders including politicians to influence residents to turn up in large numbers and register as voters.
Endelea kubadilisha vituo, lakini tunafanya ubadilisho huo katika ofisi zetu za IEBC huko Baragoi, hapa Maralal na ile iko Wamba. Lakini pia nimewauliza kwa sababu ya distances ambao watu wana move, tunaweza kupanga na returning officers, na tumeelewana vile tulifanya last time, waende katika mahala watu wamechipanga na returning officers wanaweza kuwafikia hapo na wawasaidie katika kubadilisha vituo.
Similar calls were echoed by former Kipkelion Member of Parliament Margaret Lagat in Kericho town, who challenged residents to use their votes to weed out bad leaders.
Every Kenyan who has attained the age of 18 and is eligible to vote, please visit the nearest registration centers and ensure that you take that important card, you register to be a voter, so that as we continue to even listen to these leaders, we can use that vote on the 9th of August this year to weed out the bad leaders and put in the leaders who can take Kenya forward.
Meanwhile, Kisii gubernatorial aspirant Senator Professor Sam Ongeri has decried current law space in the enhanced continuous voter registration exercise in Bonchari constituency.
Who are also qualified to be registered as voters. And therefore, I want to take the earliest opportunity to request each and every voter, possible voter who has not registered, to be able to do so as from today until 6th of February.
Ben Chumba, Lunchtime News.
In other news, stakeholders in Kuria, Migori County have decried cross-border female genital mutilation as one of the impediments to end the vice in Kenya by the year 2022. The stakeholders are urging security agencies to be on high alert, urging the county government to complete the Migori Rescue Center in time to save endangered girls in the area.
The Kuria Sub-County's anti-FGM stakeholders have held an assessment on challenges faced during the rescue mission on previous FGM activities in the region. The forum brought together the Child Protection Department, local and international NGOs, and security agencies headed by the Deputy County Commissioner Kuria West, Andrew Mwiti.
We were able to rescue over 300 girls who are at risk of undergoing the cut, and we managed to arrest and prosecute over 60 parents or guardians who had facilitated or abetted the cut. Please report to the nearest chief's office. Please report to any education officer. Report to any civil society organization all those actors are rendered to assist you and to protect you out of this cut.
We also call upon this meeting, we've called upon the government and also stakeholders to ensure that the cases that are active in courts in regards to FGM issues or cases, the girls get justice and also the law take its course.
Mabera Sub-County Children's Officer Janet Roby noting that cross-border FGM was still a challenge, with some girls fleeing their homes to undergo the cut across the border. The officials now want the Migori Rescue Center be completed in time to help girls that will be rescued from the cut during the March to April period.
It comes out that we are planning as societal actors to have a rescue center because the DCC has talked about having land. So the issue of land is not a problem right now. So we are looking at it in terms of funds to build the structure now.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Let's now turn our attention to business. And for the majority of youth, agriculture is rarely seen as a reputable profession on whose income they can rely on. But despite this dislike for agriculture, the Kenya Youth Agri-Business Strategy 2018-2022, however, cites the sector as the best bet for jobs. In Kisumu and Homa Bay counties, however, some youths are changing the paradigm and with encouraging returns. Achola Simon with the details.
Stephen Odoro Molo is one of the 600 youth from Kisumu and Homa Bay counties who are debunking the myth that agriculture is a preserve of the elderly and unschooled villagers.
I'm a farmer. I'm doing poultry farming. I'm doing African leaf vegetables. I have fish. I also do ornamental birds.
And there are many reasons why we're able to choose those market systems. Just because being a young person, you don't want an enterprise that will take so long before you get some income. Other these are enterprises that requires little space, requires a very small amount of capital, and something that can be done with both male and female, and the return to investment is very high.
If well harnessed, the sector has the potential of absorbing up to half of the 2 million unemployed youth directly and indirectly.
So we're also encouraging agriculture that is smart, precision agriculture. One that does not need a lot of space, one that does not need a lot of resources. In other words, employing technologies that make agriculture easier, cleaner and friendly for young people. An agriculture that's not climate dependent, but rather one that can withstand the climate issues, and one that can also be able to be sustained over a long period of time.
With the aid of non-state actors, Stephen Odoro Molo, an agriculture student at Ramogi Institute of Advanced Technology, is among the few youth keenly considering agriculture as a viable option to formal employment.
One of the reasons why most youth don't go into agriculture is because they lack role models. Yeah, they've seen their parents suffer. Some of them have called their parents peasant farmers. Yeah, and some of them have just thought that agriculture is a struggle before you make it. But then, within the communities, we have people who have actually succeeded in agriculture. And we make these people role models. Role models as in they have succeeded, and young people can see from them how they've been able to succeed in agriculture. So we infuse them just to handhold the young people, to mentor them, because they have been through that journey before. They have seen the successes. So instead of reinventing the wheel, then they can easily tap from that kind of resource, yeah, and take them to the next level.
Practical Action seeks to empower up to 8,000 youth from Kisumu and Homa Bay counties on the best agricultural practices, market systems, linkages, and financial integrity to ensure they succeed.
So after a certain period of time, 6 months, these businesses are also assessed again against some benchmarks that have been put in place, and the ones that are meeting these benchmarks can be able to be graduated and moved to the next level. So the next level is now moving from a micro enterprise now to a collaborator level, meaning that now they can be able to influence more young people who are coming into the enterprises.
Under the program, youths are earning between 15,000 Kenya shillings and 80,000 Kenya shillings a month.
I do get something like 30,000, but sometimes it goes to 35, roughly. But it changes. Why am I saying it changes? This round, you add 200 chicks. You find a buyer that maybe who needs 150. This month you will sell your 150. And then you will sell your vegetables. Then you will sell, vegetables you send continue.
Textile farms have urged farmers to venture into cotton farming in order to fill the raw material deficit within the industry that has forced them to resort to importation. Thicker Cloth Mills Managing Director, Tejal Dohia, has urged farmers to direct their yields to the 3 major textile factories in the country ahead of the harvesting season.
In order to boost the country's textile industry, the government had supplied farmers with genetically modified BT cotton seeds that had seen a boost in yields for farmers, providing as much as 3 times the initial harvest. While addressing farmers in Taita Taveta, Tejal said there will always be a ready market for the highly sought commodity, and the industry is constantly modernizing their machinery and boosting its workforce in order to provide for the textile demand within the country.
We really look forward to pushing this agenda much further, increasing the number of cotton farmers, increasing the employment in the sector, right from the spinning, weaving, processing, and then the garment manufacturing.
Stakeholders in cotton farmers' cooperative societies said they had sealed a commitment deal with Thicker Cloth Mills, saying the cotton farming industry is still untapped and could provide a source of living for Kenyans. Farmers, however, said that the high prices of BT seeds is still a hindrance, saying the high initial production cost discourages farmers from engaging in the venture.
Kazi zitaongezeka. Vijana wetu watapata kazi. Sisi wenyewe tutajivunia kuvaa nguo zetu za kutoka Kenya kwa sababu tumelima pamba wenyewe na zinarudi tunavaa sisi wenyewe. Kwa hiyo tunaamini ya kwamba maendeleo yanazidi kupatikana.
Tumepanda pamba na tukavuna na wakaja wakatuchukulia na kila mmoja akawa na morali wa kusema kwamba watapanda pamba kwa mwaka huu kwa wingi.
They also noted that the exploitation by brokers was a matter of concern as it continues to debilitate the industry. Reporting for Lunchtime News, my name is Ibak Saeed.
In other news, more than 400 farmers in the county of Tana River are expecting to harvest maize this season, supplied water from the Bura and Hola irrigation schemes. The project by the National Irrigation Authority, Tana River County Government and Yala East Africa is expected to boost food security in the county.
The government had allocated funds to rehabilitate various irrigation schemes in Tana River County to deal with perennial food shortage in the county. The funds were set towards the expansion of Bura and Hola irrigation schemes. In a bid to improve agriculture, Tana River County, Yara East Africa, and the National Irrigation Authority have joined efforts in the improvement of irrigation schemes through the provision of farming inputs like seeds, fertilizer, and water. The administrator of the irrigation project in Tana River County, James Kirimi, says the project of 1,800 acres will enable the farmers to produce maize in different seasons and will encourage agriculture business in the county. He says the partnership between the authority and farmers has led to the success of the project, which is an example of progressive farming. They now expect to harvest over 25 sacks of maize in 1 acre, which is more productive as compared to before.
Scheme tumeweza kuweka ekari 1,800 chini ya mahindi na ziko katika stages tofauti tofauti. Kuna zile zenye zimekomaa ambazo zinaendelea kuvunwa. Kuna hizi zenye zinakaribia kukomaa na kama vile tuliona kule mwisho mwanzo mahali tumeanzia kuna ile ingine iko kiwango ya katikati. na kuna ingine inapandwa, so ni continuous process. Kwa eka moja tumeweza kupata kiwango ya gunia 20 mpaka 25 kwa hii variety, na kuna varieties zingine ambazo tumefanyia majaribio ambazo tunataka kuanzisha ambazo zinaweza kutoa hata mazao zaidi.
Kama wakulima ni kuhakikisha ya kwamba tumeweza kupata ile faida hasa ili mkulima aweze kuinuka. Kwa sahihi wakulima wengi walikuwa wanaenda kwa bank, lakini baada ya kilimo cha governor at least wameweza kupata ile msaada. Ndio maana unaona sahihi mahindi yako wengi wao hawajaenda kwa bank, wamejifadhili wenyewe.
Farmers in the area say, unlike in the past when they depended on river flooding to water their farms, the project has greatly increased their efficiency.
Ilikuwa sijali sana mambo ya ukulima wa huku juu, nategemea ukulima wa chini huko kupitia mto kufurika, lakini nimeangalia changamoto za mto kama sahi haiku overflow. Huu mto wetu haukuweza ku overflow, ulikataa. So nikaona nikubaliana na kilimo cha huku juu, ndio hata nina eka 4 nalima sahi.
Reporting for Lunchtime News, I am Teresa Mtai.
Kenya is banking on the signing of the Economic Partnership Agreement between the East African Community and the European Union to open up greater trading and economic opportunities. President Uhuru Kenyatta noted this would go a long way in correcting the trade imbalance between Nairobi and Budapest over the last 5 decades, despite the existing huge commercial potential.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has hailed the strong bilateral ties between Kenya and Hungary, saying the relationship is driven largely by economic cooperation, trade and investments. Speaking during a state banquet he hosted together with First Lady Margaret Kenyatta for visiting Hungarian President János Áder, President Uhuru Kenyatta noted the need to intensify efforts to promote greater linkages and networks between the private sector and business communities in the two countries, and encourage them to take advantage of the economic opportunities existing in their respective countries.
Indeed, throughout the day and also this evening, we've had the opportunity to share a number of areas, especially in the agricultural sector, where Kenya and Hungary can benefit greatly from the advancements that have been made in Hungary, and through creating opportunities for Hungarian firms to look into the agricultural sector here in Kenya.
Further, Kenya is banking on the signing of the Economic Partnership Agreement between the Eastern African Community and the European Union to open up greater trading and economic opportunities.
And in addition, Kenya and Hungary are also agreed to connect our cooperation with the European Union, where again Hungary is an important member and lends important support through various EU programs, humanitarian aid, and is also actively involved in different strands of joint EU political and policy dialogue with the government of Kenya.
On his part, the Hungarian leader expressed his country's commitment to continue supporting Kenya's development agenda. Kenya will be setting up a diplomatic mission in Budapest as part of the deals signed, include cooperation in health, water, education and diplomacy. Regina Manyar reporting for Lunchtime News. Regina Manyar reporting for Prime Edition.
Let's take to the skies now, where Kenya Airways will from next month start a new route for cargo between Kisumu and the United Arab Emirates. Fresh Produce Consortium of Kenya CEO Ojepat Okisegere says the cargo flights will deliver horticulture product from Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania to the United Arab Emirates.
We're already engaging with the UAE and secured certain orders. Then there will be cargo flights leaving Kisumu and to the UAE. For that reason, we need to take care of the borders between Kenya and Uganda. Most of our Kenyans have been buying their chilies from Uganda and exporting them from Kenya. So we want to be very sure that the required agronomical practices have been harmonized within the East African community.
It's time to play now, and we begin with AFCON, where hosts Cameroon cemented top spot in Group A at the Africa Cup of Nations following a 1-1 draw with Cape Verde on Monday evening. Burkina Faso secured second spot in the same group despite being held to a 1-1 draw by Ethiopia in Bafoussam.
Burkina Faso sealed the place in the round of 16. 7 minutes after halftime, Ethiopian captain Gatane Kebede equalized from the penalty spot after Sif Yago was penalized for a handball. Burkina Faso will face the runners-up from Group C, either Morocco, Gabon or Ghana in the last 16 on Sunday. Elsewhere, Cameroon also drew 1-1 against Cape Verde. The indomitable Lions took the lead when captain Vincent Aboubakar drilled home his 5th goal of the tournament after 39 minutes. Cape Verde equalized 8 minutes after the break as halftime substitute Gary Rodriguez stylishly flicked home. Aboubakar should have won it midway through the second half, only to blaze over the bar with the goal gaping. Cape Verde finished that in the group on 4 points behind Burkina Faso, and the Blue Sharks face a wait to see if they will progress as one of the 4 best that placed sides.